So we're gonna do the speed controllers. Must be in this bag right here. Yep. So you need your chassis right here, and you need these. Get all these cables out. Sorry, getting organized over here. Okay, these are the electronic speed controls right here. That's what they look like. 20As is what they're called. We've got one long wire and two smaller wires. So it says to arrange all the wires at the bottom to where they go to the right. I think I put them all to the left. Oh no, we have to flip it back over. Hold on. Yeah, we have to flip this back over now. Now I can sit on the landing gear. Just like that. And mine do go to the right, which is what the picture they were showing. That's the reason I did it that way. It's just because they were showing it going to the right. So, yeah. Mine are already going to the right, so I can skip that step. Firmly insert, connect each one of the ESCs to the wires from the motor. And it just says to make firmly insert each of the connectors at the end of the wire motors into the ESCs. And it doesn't really say which wire goes in which, so I guess it just doesn't really matter. So you just literally plug them in. They don't give you much extra wire here. Hey, they push in pretty hard. I mean, you gotta really push to get them in there. I guess they don't want them to come loose. There we go. I don't want to squeeze them, but I was just kind of grabbing it and pushing. I'm not squeezing. I'm just pushing. More than anything. All right, that's what it looks like when you get it attached. And I'm pretty sure you do that to all, repeat it for the other four. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna rotate this around and keep on plugging these in. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I need my permanent marker. And if my marker doesn't show up, I may need a piece of tape. Like if you have a paint pen, you could use one of those and it'll show up better. But like this one is attached to the arm that says number 1 on the outside. So what I need to do is write a number 1 on this, the black and white connector right here. And I just need a 1 on there. And you really can't see that, so I'm gonna get a piece of masking tape. After marking it myself, you can see that really good. I'm gonna get a little piece of masking tape and put on there because I really can't see it very well. And I'm gonna do that for all 4 of them. So this is 4. Three. And 2. Okay, so it says basically now what we're going to do is we're going to feed these cables up through the top of the chassis plate and off to the side of motors 2 and 3. I'm assuming these are the signal cables. Yeah, the black and white ones are the signal cables. So two and three are over here on the top. 3 is there and 2 is over here. These are going to go up through this center hole and go that direction. Yeah, that's all you got to do right now is just push them up through there. Okay, so that's all I need for that for right now. So I'm gonna put that to the side. And that's probably all I have time for today. I've been working on this for a little while. Probably won't do any more today. Probably do the rest of it tomorrow. I know some areas like the screws, I messed up putting the screws in the wrong place. Stuff like that happens. I mean, that's common. You're gonna get screws in the wrong place. Not that big a deal. Realize your mistake, fix your mistake, and you're fine. So anyway, I'll be back tomorrow to finish it up. Okay, I'm back to do the next parts. So what I need next is I need this plate. Looks like that plate. And I need these 4 standoffs, these metal standoffs, and the 4 silver screws. And what it says that you also need the Loctite. So I'm gonna put the Loctite in there, and I'm going to they're going to go into the holes that are right next to the large hole. So these 4 holes are here. It really doesn't matter which side, truly. So I'm just gonna get them in there. So make sure that I've got the right screwdriver. Yeah. Okay. So it basically just says set these up. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Set these up and put a drop or 2, a small drop inside each one of them. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, now I'm going to tighten these standoffs. Just put them on the screws and tighten them up. And then I'll tighten them up with the actual screwdriver and a pair of pliers. This is the time when you need just the flat nosed pliers, the regular pliers. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, those are good and tight. Okay, so I need this isolation plate. Let me scoot these back. Isolation plate, I need the flight controller, which is this this board that says flight controller on it. And I'm gonna take it out. And I'll tell you what, I'm gonna stick it on the outside of the bag just for static electricity purposes. Power distribution board, which is this Quadcopter power distribution board. And it also has a power cable too. I'm gonna put that right there. And then you need nylon machine screw. Probably, I think that's a nylon screw. It feels like a nylon screw. It's pretty light. So you need 4 of those, and there's only 4, so I'm pretty sure that's them. You need a nylon spacer, 3/16 and 1/8. Okay, the 1/8 one is the medium sized one that you got a bunch of. You need 4 of those. That's the 1/8. And what's neat is this plastic, with my marker at. Marker, where's a marker? Oh, there it is. I'm gonna write on there that these were the 1/8 one. I'm just gonna write it right on this plastic. Ha ha. So I'll remember them. So those are the 1/8 ones, and then I've got this little bag that has the other ones in them. So I need the 1/8 and I need a 3/16, which are the thick ones. And I think those are in here. Yeah, they are. So there's only 4, and I need all 4 of them. So there's 1. I'll just dump my hand. Two, 3, and 4. And there's a nylon hex nut that was also in there. They're plastic, right here. Now, well, you can see it, but that's them. And there are 4 of those as well. 4. And I've still got 4 of the really small spacers too. Yeah, they're really thin. I don't know what they go to. They're not even on that sheet of paper right there, honestly. So, who knows? I don't know what they go to. So anyway, that's what we need for this part right now. So we're going to feed the nylon screws to the holes in the flight controller. So we've got the flight controller here. These nylon screws are going to go through these holes. And just like it says, hold it with your hands or with tape. You have to hold them for the remainder of the steps. So I'm going to probably put a piece of tape on them just to hold them in place. Okay. And it says flip the flight controller upside down with the arrow pointing away from me. There's an arrow that says front You want it towards, away from you. Slide the 3/16 spacer over the screw, so that's the fat ones, or the thicker ones. Okay, slide a power distribution board over that, and it really doesn't say the picture. It goes like this, but it really doesn't say which one goes to what side or anything. I think it's all the same all the way around, so it really doesn't matter which one you put in there. So that goes there. With the name facing up. Okay, that's what I got. Make sure. Yeah. Name is facing up. Slide the 1 inch Allen spacer over the 4 screws. That's the 4 that I've got a bunch of. Okay, and then it says to slide this isolation plate over the 4 screws with the standouts facing downward. So you want them down like this. There we go. And thread a hex nut over the 4 screws, tighten them at each one. So. The plastic ones, you really have to make sure you get them threaded properly, because if you don't, they'll just go sideways. They don't care. If I get the 2 corners in, then I can kind of start tightening everything else up. That's the same size wrench. Yeah. So I can pull my tape off. I'm done with that. And then I've got my wrench. And just pop them over the nuts. And then tighten them up. It says basically tighten them up and then give it another quarter turn. So when you feel resistance, give it another quarter turn. I'm guessing you really don't have to crank down on this, as long as it doesn't move a lot, it's fine. Okay. Pretty sturdy. That's what it looks like. We've got it all in there. Okay. We need this and a 3-wire servo extension cable number 4. What does that look like? There's one of them, a 3-wire servo extension cable. Probably this one. This is the only one that looks different than the rest of them. The rest of them have 3 wires, but they don't look like this. So I think that's pretty good. Okay, so we're holding it upside down so that the front of the flight controller is facing away from me. So that there's an arrow right here that points towards the front. So I want that away from me. So I want it going that way. Yeah. And then feed the cable from the left side in between the oxygen plate and the power distribution board and plug in the header at the okay, it goes right there. Yeah, that's a little short. And it looks like the white wire goes towards me, so. That. And then flip it over and insert it into this little part right there with the white wire on the left. Just like that. Okay, so I need this, I need the isolation, I need this big piece of foam right here. I'm gonna need the flight controller cover, which is, where did I put that? It's right here. I'm pretty sure that's a flight control cover. Yeah. And 4 machine screws, which are these middle screws right here. These silver screws. They're all metal kind of, except the nylon ones, but these silver ones. Need 4 of those. Okay, so using scissors, cut the foam block in half. Okay, so if we have the flight controller like this with the wire we just installed on that side and the front away from us, it says to put the piece of foam over the barometer as shown in the image. The barometer must be right, it's this little like chip right there, I guess. It says basically install it right there. Peel off the protective backing of the flight controller cover, and that's this little brown paper on the back. So peel that off. Get right. Oh, there it goes. It's kind of clear looking. You can really see the name. It looks like it's been laser etched or something in there. I don't know if you can see it or not. Anyway. All right, this is going to go over top of, with the words, like the front's facing that way, there's an arrow facing that way. The words are going to go upright, and you just lay it right on top. And we're going to put our 4 screws. It doesn't say anything about putting Loctite in these, so. And this one very specifically says, just tighten them up until you start feeling resistance, and then stop. Do not over tighten these. So that's all we're going to do. Okay. So make sure they're a little snug. I'm not going to tighten them up too much, but don't want to crack the plastic. Okay, so I'm going to be right back. I need to go take a little quick break, change the battery out in the camera, and I'll be back. Okay, our next step is to install the vibration damper. These are these little rubber, like little balls with little things on the end. I can't even describe them. That's what they are. So these are going to go, if you see the bigger hole on the top of this plate right here, there's a bigger hole on all 4 of these. This one's going to go in there, and you're going to have to work it. It suggests you either twist it, which I don't know if you can do. Hold on. Yeah, I'm better off getting one corner in and taking a flathead screwdriver and just kind of pushing it in there. It does say be careful, don't use like a sharp object on there, because a sharp object will poke a hole in it and damage it. So you don't want to do that, but you can take a flathead screwdriver and carefully go around and kind of push it through. Yeah, see, it's in there now. It's not moving. So I'm gonna get this in the other 4. All right, so that's that. Now with the front side away from me, like the front's going that way. It says it on the right there, the front going away. The writing should now be towards me, so I can read the writing. These are actually gonna go, these dampers, I'm gonna have to put through these holes right there. And I'm gonna have to do all 4 of them, and it should be quite interesting to get them in there, but that's what you gotta do. So again, I'm going to work with a screwdriver. Maybe better off getting the closest one to me first, but that's what you got to work with. So. Okay, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad at all. So now it's got a vibration, so if it vibrates or it bumps or it hits, it's got a shock absorber. So that's pretty cool. So that wasn't too bad. It was easier putting them in that way than shoving them down, that's for sure. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna connect all these ESC boards, these little boards on the side. We're going to connect them all to the power right up in front of it. So the black lead goes in the negative side, and the red goes in the red. And these are kind of hard to push in, so you just got to really just shove them in there. And if you have a hard time, you can always get the pliers back out. I'm just going to work my way around. And make sure you put the black one on the negative side and the red one on the positive side, or you could really damage the ESC boards. At least that's what the directions say, because I don't know one way or the other. Okay, that's that. I'm just going to turn the front away from me again, just because I like to work that direction. Okay, now I need to get where all these little black and white wires came out. These right here. Okay, number 1 is going to go to the furthest left set of pins. So there's pins sitting right here on this header row pointing towards me. Number 1 is going to go to the furthest left. So there's number 1. And black wires on the bottom and the white wires on the top. So black wires on the bottom, white wires on the top. And make sure I think they show a picture of it. Yep. And I'm gonna leave my tape on if I can. It literally just plugs in to the very last one. And push it in all the way, as far as it'll go. Looks like it would go further than that. No, that's it. Alright, so we got 1 is the first one. And then you do 2 in the next one. Again, white on top, black on the bottom. All right, now I've got to go get my radio receiver. I'm gonna have to go get it real quick. So I'll be right back.